The Malaysian state of Sabah in Borneo is rich in natural resources like oil, gas and timber. It's a magnet for migrant workers from neighboring Indonesia and the Philippines, all in search of employment and a better life. But as the number of foreign workers here increases, so has local opposition towards them. Now the government is turning them away. I'm Fauzia Ibrahim. In this edition of 101 East, we look at how the Malaysian government is handling the tide of foreign workers arriving on its shores. Sabah's economy runs on oil, gas and tourism, and much of it is dependent on foreign labor. But now the government has launched a campaign to deport up to 150,000 illegal migrants back to their home countries. Orlando de Guzman reports from the front lines of Malaysia's new offensive against Sabah's illegal aliens.
They come in the middle of the night, arresting foreigners who have overstayed or are here without documents. No one is exempt. Every family member is carefully checked. Here, a grandmother has been left to care for these 4 children. These Filipino children have neither papers nor parents. A neighbor says the parents were arrested 2 months earlier. The children are told to pack up. But perhaps because of our camera, the police changed their mind and let the family go. But others are not let off so easily. This man's work papers are expired. His daughter is left behind. She's the eldest of 5 children. After it becomes clear they've arrested the children's only parent, the police come back, and the whole family is taken away. The Malaysian government wants to show it is tough on immigration, and now it's spending $15 million over the next few weeks to sweep through every neighborhood in the state of Sabah. Officials here say it's a matter of security.
Rapes, robberies, burglaries, snatch theft. This has a direct effect on the local population coming from foreign workers, illegal immigrants and the such. And it hurts all the more because these are illegal immigrants that the government should have prevented from coming into the country in the first place.
These detainees will often spend weeks behind bars before they are deported. Outside the gates, family members wait anxiously for news. This man from the Philippines has lived in Malaysia for 25 years. All of his children were born in Sabah. He says he's got legal papers and was petitioning for his children to become residents when they were arrested.
It's very difficult. I cannot go to anyone. My children are in jail there. I don't know what to do.
Over the past 18 years, the Malaysian government has deported more than 250,000 illegal aliens in Sabah. Though popular at home, previous campaigns have received international criticism. During the last major crackdown in 2002, there were allegations of overcrowding, poor treatment, and even sexual abuse, allegations the government denies.
We have always done it in a human way. Any presumption that it is not done in a human way, I think, is a fallacy. It's a wrong premise. Those without documents, so we will deport based on working in close cooperation with the embassies in Malaysia. So there will not be any abuses.
Most Indonesian migrants here in Sabah have access to consular services, but that's not true for Filipino workers. The nearest Philippine embassy here is over 1,500 kilometers away in Kuala Lumpur. Even though it's badly needed, the Philippine government has not set up a consular office here because of a long-standing territorial claim over Sabah. Fearing arrest and without any help from their own government, many undocumented Filipino workers are leaving on their own. No passports or visa stamps are required here. Just a few dollars will get them home. Yusuf Saleh works as a carpenter in the town of Sandakan on the east coast of Sabah.
Ada kabar berita ini mungkin.
There is some news that in the next 2 or 3 days, they'll be arresting people. So I'm leaving. So they won't get to us.
Yusuf says he'll be back once the police sweeps are over.
Ini ada kelebihan. Malaysia ada kelebihan.
Malaysia is more prosperous, more peaceful. There's no war going on. It's not like the Philippines. With just a few dollars here, you can feed your entire family.
But foreign workers are not entirely unwelcome. Much of Sabah's prosperity has been built on the sweat of illegal laborers. The government plans to deport some 100,000 undocumented workers in this new campaign, but the business community fears serious labor shortages.
Yes, definitely it will cause delay in our completion of the project. We usually for this site we need around 200 to 300 workers, but now we have reduced half. We only have 100 workers, but the workers nowadays they have a fear. They try to run away.
Employers have 3 months to legalize their undocumented workers, but it comes at a huge cost, over $500 per person. It's a cost often deducted from the workers' wages.
It happens that usually you deduct from them, then they will hoping to other construction site. This is the problem we face.
And then so they continue to be undocumented.
Then other employer have to help them to register again. That costs money.
Another night, another police raid. But local leaders doubt whether this latest crackdown will solve the complex problem of migration in Sabah.
Today, we are paying the price for decades of neglect over the issue of illegal immigrants and foreign labor. And we see a lack of political will to tackle this whole issue of foreign labor. And therefore, I'm not yet confident that what we are seeing today will lead to eventual success.
For more on the issue of illegal migrants here in Sabah, we're joined by Dato' Wilfred Madias Tangau, Secretary General of UPCO Party, a member of the ruling Barisan Nasional Party. Dr. O.E. Sun is a political analyst from Sabah, and Connie Bragas Regalado of International Migrante Alliance, a global alliance of Filipino migrant organizations. Thank you very much for joining us today. Dr. Wilfred, if I could just throw the first question at you, how bad is this situation of illegal migrants here in Sabah? What is their impact on the state?
There are an estimated 500,000 illegal immigrants, but illegal immigrants being illegal immigrants, nobody knows for certain how many there are actually in Sabah. But the impact is both social, political, and even the economy. Most of the sectors, plantations, construction, are dependent on migrant workers, and due to various reasons, employers tend to employ illegal immigrants rather than the regulated one.
Dr. O, what would happen if all the illegal migrants in Sabah were repatriated?
Yeah, the economy of Sabah perhaps will be teetering towards a collapse, a total collapse, because they were employed mainly because of the cheaper cost of their salaries. You don't provide them with fringe benefits and so on. And it's very tempting to employ this, what we'll call illegal foreign workers. And just now, Dato' Tangau talked about the estimates of the number of illegal immigrants in Sabah. Of course, the official estimate is of around 500,000 or so. But as most Sabahans are well known to have the numbers of closer to 2 million, that would be a major part of Sabah population. And you have questions such as, one day, who would then be the, shall we say, the majority population of Sabah? Would Sabah become a total immigrant-dominated state or country, or would Sabah indeed still retain its original identity?
Connie, how difficult is it for Filipino migrants who want to work in Sabah to gain legal working documents to come here to Sabah?
In the case of the Filipinos, most of the migrants here in Sabah come from Tawi-Tawi, Jolo, Basilan, where there is an ongoing militarization. 30 years ago, and it's ongoing up to now. So they are actually refugees. They're actually displaced by the militarization situation in Mindanao. And the only way that they can do is to escape, and the nearest place that they can tell it's supposedly it's safe is Sabah.
And then it's also quite, I would say, even hypocritical on the part of the authorities, because on the one hand you have a well-known, deliberate, even official attempt to perhaps swarm the population of Sabah with this sometimes legal and sometimes illegal immigrants. So conveniently, at one point in time, they're welcomed into Sabah. And now that there were social problems and so on, these people suddenly became persona non grata and are summarily deported, as you just said. And this is very unfair to them, I mean, in addition to all those human rights concerns. So the Malaysian authorities will have to make up their minds. What would they like to do? Would they indeed like to continue with policies which are quite well known to be, shall we say, changing the majority demographics of Sabah, or do they indeed have the determination to so-called flush out the illegal immigrants? You can't have it both ways.
We're going to have to pick up on that point a little later on, but we're going to have to go for a break right now. After the break, we'll hear what it's like to be stateless in Sabah.